A tragedy that goes without comprehension was what one public official called Wednesday night's mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine. A nation accustomed to senseless slaughter begs to differ. It's tragically reminiscent of The Onion's famous 2014 headline, "Always applicable, no way to prevent this," says only nation where this regularly happens. As of this writing, a manhunt is underway for the coward, who I have not named because infamy is part of the thrill for such deviance, and who has been charged with shooting up a bowling alley full of children before unleashing a fusillade of bullets at a bar 4 miles away. At least 18 people are dead, 10 of those victims have yet to be identified, recalling the carnage of Uvalde, kids whose faces were obliterated beyond recognition.
Well, we were inside and just normal night of bowling, and out of nowhere he just came in and there was a loud pop. Thought it was a balloon. I had my back turned to the door, and as soon as I turned and saw it was not a balloon, he was holding a weapon, I just booked it down the lane and I slid.
13 more are injured. Those who survive will live with this trauma forever. As for the shooting suspect himself, well, in the months leading up to this, he was waving all the red flags. He is a highly trained Army reservist who, according to one fellow soldier, was one of the best riflemen in their unit, yet was committed to a mental hospital for 2 weeks. This summer, after he reported hearing voices, his superiors called police in mid-July. Concerned that he was acting erratically, he was taken to an Army hospital at West Point, where he was deployed to help train cadets. For evaluation, any findings are as yet unknown. He recently threatened to shoot up the National Guard base in Saco, Maine. He patronized the bowling alley and bar targeted on Wednesday, and for months was telling family members he was sure people at both places were talking badly about him, that he was overhearing these non-existent conversations. He truly believed he was hearing people say things, his sister-in-law Katie O'Neill told the Daily Beast. He would get mad and claim that we didn't believe him. We tried to listen and tell him that nobody was talking about him. So despite his family and friends telling the media that he is a rational, understanding person, as one fellow reservist told CNN, or the most loving, hardworking, and kind person that I know, as O'Neill claims clearly, he was a known threat to public safety. This is not who he is, O'Neill said. This is exactly who he is. He allegedly planned, strategized, targeted, and executed this mass murder at 2 different locations, then successfully got away, potentially crossing state lines into Massachusetts, leaving parts of Maine under complete lockdown. This shooting suspect, like so many others who are mentally disturbed, retained enough core competencies, enough cogency, to successfully maim and kill. The White House, and the entire country, has lowered the flag. How about raising the bar for gun ownership? About finally addressing one of the greatest public health crises in America, the aggrieved white male, almost always the mass shooter profile, who takes out his failures, grievances, and aggression on unwitting civilians and schoolchildren. Was Maine's Governor Janet Mills at the press conference Thursday morning, flanked by all manner of police and public officials waiting for their turn at the podium, as if this were an award show, statements of thanks and thoughts and prayers, rather than a sober acknowledgement of what this is, a complete failure of local, state and federal law enforcement. A mass murderer waiting in our midst, now still on the run.
Into where the pins are and climbed up in the machine and was on top of the machines for about 10 minutes until the cops got there. The whole thing was just, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think you're supposed to see that in real life. Over 10, where at least I knew they were shots. And then when I got on top of the bowling machine, it was a lot of ruckus back there, so I don't really know from that, but I heard the first one. It was probably 15 feet behind me. I mean, he was close, very close. nothing, no one close. I mean, I'm pretty sure I knew one guy but I'm not gonna say we're friends. I just knew him, friendly. I've seen him there before. But I just went there, just to bowl by myself, and yeah, I wasn't even there 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, I just walked in the place. I was putting on my bowling shoes when when it started. So, I've been barefoot for 5 hours.